Hello and welcome. This is McGoobage. My name is Andy and this is a fairly new YouTube channel. For those of you that have seen my channel before, you would have seen that I did 2 playthrough series last season and got sacked twice in non-league. I'm useless with tactics. The thing is, I know there are plenty of people out there that also are. You're a bit like me, you struggle. So, I've been on the community forums, I've been around different websites, and I'm going to put together a tactical experiment. Now this experiment will be 4 of the most popular tactics tested with every single Premier League team, starting with the top 6 this week and then moving forward to the rest of the Premier League, just to see how effective they actually are. Now there are 2 types of people that play Football Manager, in my view. It's those that have the time to create and develop their own tactics, and there are those that don't have the time, that would love to have the time to develop their own tactics but need to play the game for an hour or a couple of hours a day or a couple of hours a week. They just want to download a popular one and give it a whirl. Hopefully these videos will give you a bit of a guide as to what tactics work with each team to help get me started. Let's get straight into it. Tactic number 1 is by Knap, who's a popular poster on the forums, the SI community forums, and it's the 4-2-3-1 Beowulf. There's plenty of different versions on here. He tests I think on FM Touch and things like that. It's the Giraffin version that we're going to be using. That is tactic number 1. That's a 4-2-3-1 formation. I'll go into it when we get into the game, but that's tactic number 1. Tactic number 2 is by Fuss, Minimal Fuss, Fastidious I should say. Again, a regular poster. He's a regular poster on this particular forum, and I'm using the stable version 2. So all the links to the tactics will be in the description. Minimal Fuss, Fastidious, version 2, the 4-1-2-2-1 formation. Tactic number 3 is by Rustler, who is another brilliant technician, and he's a regular poster on the forums. His is the Steadfast, a flat 4-1-4-1 formation. Very, very popular, and again he has a lot of success with his tactics. This will be implemented as tactic number 3. Tactic number 4 will be Jamie's 4-2-3-1 attacking Catenaccio with set pieces. This is a very popular tactic on his Twitch channel, and this is going to be tactic number 4. Hello, and this is Leicester. This is episode 15 of my Premier League tactical test series. If you've not watched any of these videos before, I'm McGoobage, Andy. And what we're doing is just a tactical test of the 4 of the most popular tactics on the SI Community Forum and FM Scout. And what we're doing, we're loading them up. We're asking all the staff to take over everything. Training, contracts, tactics, tactical briefings. We go on holiday for a whole season to see how it plays out. Now, in each one of these videos, we've picked the team based on the ratings of the players as per the game, ability ratings. So in some cases the players won't be natural in their positions, but for consistency throughout these 20 videos that there'll be, 15 so far, it's for consistency, just to make sure that we try and see exactly how each tactic plays out and how successful or unsuccessful they are. So, tactic number 1 with Leicester. If you've not seen the videos, it's the Knap's Beowulf tactic. It's a tipler set tick attacker. It's 4-2-3-1 wide. It's attacking. So in possession, shorter passing, pass to space, play out of defence, low crosses, run at defence, work the ball into the box, overlap both sides with your fullbacks and slightly lower tempo. Transition, short kicks, distribute to fullbacks, counter press, and then out of possession you defend narrower, higher defensive line and therefore a higher line of engagement. Extremely urgent, prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, you get stuck in. Tighter marking and use of the offside trap. So, as we know, Schmeichel's in goal on defend as a goalkeeper. 2 fullbacks, wing-backs on attack. Chilwell and Albrighton. He can play there, and he's rated higher than the right-back that was in the squad. So he's in that position for all 4 tactics. 2 ball-playing defenders, Evans and Maguire. Deep line playmaker on support, Abora. Silva, box-to-box midfielder support. 2 inside forwards, Gazal and Pereira on inside forward on support, with Madison attacking midfield on attack, with Vardy the advanced forward up front on attack. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, so Leicester finished 8th, a respectable 8th place finish, which is good. There were 7 points off the Europa League place. Chelsea won the league, followed by Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man United, Everton and Arsenal. Let's have a look at the schedule. So they started off in the Premier League with 2 defeats in a row. This first up was at home to Brighton and then away to Man City. They then beat Cardiff and then beat Derby, EFL Cup second round. Drew with Tottenham, lost heavily to Chelsea. A big score draw with Liverpool 4-4. Then beat Charlton, EFL Cup third round. Beat Fulham, beat Huddersfield, beat West Ham, beat Burnley and beat Cheltenham, EFL Cup fifth round on penalties. Drew with Bournemouth, beat Wolves and then lost to Newcastle. So there was a bit of an unbeaten run there, which was good, but lost to Newcastle. Into December now. Beat Southampton, big win against Watford. Beat Everton and beat Arsenal, EFL Cup quarter final. Beat Brighton, Premier League, but then lost to Crystal Palace away 4-3. Then drew with Man United 1-1. Into January. Lost heavily at home to Man City. Beat Birmingham FA Cup third round. Won the EFL Cup semi-final against Man United despite having a player sent off on 20 minutes. Excellent result. First leg that was, I should say. Cardiff they beat 4-0 in the Premier League. Then drew with Arsenal. Lost to Tottenham. Won the away leg in the EFL Cup semi-final and went through to the final, which is a fantastic result. Beat Brentford FA Cup fourth round. Lost to Chelsea Premier League. Big defeat in the Premier League away to Liverpool. Beat Fulham Premier League. Beat Newcastle FA Cup fifth round. Beat Huddersfield. Lost to Man City after extra time in the League Cup final. It was 1-1. It went to extra time and Iborra was sent off on 108 minutes. Danilo scored 3 minutes from time to win the trophy for City. Drew with West Ham Premier League and Burnley. Then beat Wolves and Bournemouth. Lost to Liverpool FA Cup sixth round. Drew with Newcastle Premier League. Lost heavily away. Drew to Arsenal. Drew with Southampton. Lost to Watford. Drew with Everton. So it's those 5 games in the run into the end of the season that cost them the Europa League place. But they got to the final of the League Cup. Finished 8th, so it's a successful season. Average ratings. Vardy 7.17, 7.10 for a defender. I can't even try and pronounce. Evans 7.10. Maddison 7.08 and then Iborra 7.02. I'm looking for players that played the majority of the season. So goals, Vardy 31 goals from 49 games, 9 assists. Maddison 13 from 43 and 11. Gezal was 11 from 47 and 14. Excellent performances. So that's tactic number 1. 8th place, Europa League, EFL Cup final I should say. And Vardy 31 goals. Tactic number 1. Tactic number 2 is Minimal Fuss's fastidious tactic. It's a 4-1-4-1 DM wide. It's a positive formation, but it's also worth noting here, and I say it every time, it's the it's the tactic with the least instructions. So, in possession, shorter passing, pay out of defence, work the ball into the box, lower tempo and waste time. Transition, you roll it out, you distribute to the fullbacks, you counter press, and out of possession, a high defensive line, prevent the short goalkeeper distribution and use of the offside trap. So, 4-1-4-1. So, Schmeichel's the sweeper keeper on defend in goal. Chilwell and Albrighton are wing backs on support with Evans and Maguire centre backs on defend this time. Then Didi comes in as defensive midfielder on defend. Iborra box to box midfielder on support. Silva, Mazzala on attack. Maddison switches to the left because he can play there and he's one of the strongest. Maddison inside forward on support with Pereira on the other side. Vardy deep line forward on attack. Let's see how this one gets on. Leicester finished 9th in this particular one, 10 points off a 7th place in the Europa League finish. City won the league, Liverpool was 2nd, Tottenham 3rd, Arsenal 4th, Chelsea 5th, Man United 6th and Watford 7th. Let's have a look at the schedule. So, started off the Premier League by beating Brighton, lost to Man City, beat Cardiff, then beat Millwall, EFL Cup second round. Into September, beat Tottenham, lost to Chelsea, beat Liverpool, all in the Premier League, beat Newcastle, EFL Cup third round, drew with Fulham. October, lost to Huddersfield, beat West Ham and Burnley, knocked out EFL Cup fourth round this time around, by Arsenal. November now, they lost to Bournemouth, beat Wolves, drew with Newcastle. Into December, drew with Southampton, beat Watford, drew with Everton, drew with Brighton, lost to Crystal Palace, and then drew with Man United. Now, it must be noted that the 4 draws in the Premier League are all 0-0. January, drew with Man City 2-2, drew with Southend, FA Cup third round away, won the replay at home 3-0. In between that, they lost to Cardiff in the Premier League, and after the FA Cup, they lost heavily to Tottenham away. Lost to Crystal Palace FA Cup fourth round, so out of both competitions. So it's Premier League only from now until the end of the season. Finished off January by losing to Chelsea in the Premier League. Lost to Liverpool, drew with Arsenal, beat Fulham, drew with Huddersfield, and lost to West Ham in February. 3 wins in the Premier League on the spin in March. They beat Burnley, Bournemouth and Wolves. April, they drew with Newcastle, beat Southampton, lost heavily to Watford, drew with Everton, then lost to Man United and Arsenal, and finished up with a 3-3 against Crystal Palace. I can't see there's going to be a lot of goals in this particular one. Let's see how the average ratings were. Again, looking at players that played the majority of the season. Maddison 7.05, Evans 7.02, De Jong 7.01, Chilwell 6.99, Maguire 6.98. Goals, Vardy 15 from 44 and 2 assists, Maddison 13 from 43 and 6, and Pereira 5 from 43 and 6. Disappointing player performances, but they finished 9th in the Premier League. That's tactic number 2. So tactic number 3 is Rustler Steadfast 4-1-4-1 version 2. It's an attacking tactic, and in possession, shorter passing, pass to space, play out of defence, low crosses, run at defence, work the ball into the box, but you focus play through the middle of the pitch, not wide. In transition, take short kicks, counter press, and out of possession, defend narrower, high defensive line and line of engagement, extremely urgent, short goalkeeper distribution, and use of the offside trap. Just my position here. So 4-1-4-1. Schmeichel's the sweeper keeper on defend in goal, with Chilwell and Albrighton are complete wing backs on attack. 2 centre backs on defend, Evans and Maguire. Ndidi is the half back on defend this time. Maddison and Pereira are wide midfielders on attack. Abora and Silva are box to box midfielders on support, and Jamie Vardy is the false 9 this time on support. Let's see how this gets on. Leicester finished 8th and qualified for the Europa League. They finished 3 points behind Arsenal in 6th and only 8 points off of 5th. In fact, 9 points off of the Champions League place. So it was a good season. They qualified for the Europa League, which was good. Let's see the schedule. So, Premier League, they started off with an unbeaten run of 5 games, which is good. 4 games, sorry. They beat Brighton, drew with Man City, beat Cardiff, beat Brighton EFL Cup second round, and then beat Tottenham, which was good. They were then defeated by Chelsea away, but recovered and beat Liverpool 2-1 Premier League. Then beat Palace EFL Cup third round, and then drew with Fulham in the Premier League. I'm just looking here, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 games. They only lost 1 in 14. Great start. So, into October, 4 wins on the spin. They beat Huddersfield, beat West Ham and beat Burnley Premier League. Thumped Leeds 5-1 EFL Cup 4th round. Jamie Vardy scored 3. November, Bournemouth they beat. Lost to Wolves, drew with Newcastle. December, beat Southampton, beat Watford, lost to Everton. Beat Wolves, EFL Cup quarter-final. Then beat Brighton, drew with Crystal Palace, and then lost to Man United. So into January now. Lost to Man City Premier League. Beaten Forest, FA Cup third round. Beat Sheffield United 2-1, EFL Cup semi-final first leg. Drew with Cardiff, beat Tottenham. Then drew with Sheffield United, EFL Cup semi-final second leg, to go through to the final. Lost to Everton, FA Cup 4th round. Beat Chelsea Premier League, Into February. Into February now, and they lost to Liverpool. Drew with Fulham. Drew with Huddersfield, but it looks as though their minds were on something else, because look at this. Leicester won the EFL Cup by beating Liverpool 3-2. Fantastic achievement. Lost to West Ham Premier League. Into March, they beat Burnley Premier League, lost heavily to Bournemouth, but then thumped Newcastle. Jamie Vardy scored all 5 goals. April, beat Wolves, drew with Arsenal, thumped Southampton, lost to Watford, drew with Arsenal, beat Everton, then lost to Man United and Crystal Palace. So they won the EFL Cup. Does that mean they went into the Europa League because of that? Anyway, player-wise, let's have a look at the ratings. So, Vardy, 7.43. Albrighton, 7.26. Chilwell, 7.16. Gezal, 7.10. Goals, look at this. Jamie Vardy, 33 goals from 34 games, 2 assists. Gezal, 7 from 12 and 2. Damari Gray, 7 points from 17. Let's have a look. Maddison, 6 from 43, 11 assists. Chilwell, 4 from 43 and 8. But Jamie Vardy, 33 from 34 games, including scoring 5 in 1. So, Leicester finished 8th, qualified for the Europa League by winning the EFL Cup. That's tactic number 3. Tactic number 4 is the FM Scout Catenaccio, and it's the 4-2-3-1 wide. It's attacking. So in possession, shorter passing to space, play out of defence, low crosses, work the ball into the box. Now, this is different from tactic number 1 because you're asked to focus play down each side, whereas tactic number 1, it was overlaps. In this instance, you're focusing play on each side. In transition, with a lower tempo also. In transition, distribute to fullbacks, counter press, out of possession, defend narrow, a high defensive line and line of engagement, extremely urgent, prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, use tighter marking and use of the offside trap. So it's 4-2-3-1 wide, and Schmeichel's goalkeeper on defend. 2 wing-backs on attack, Chilwell and Albrighton, with Evans and Maguire ball-playing defenders on defend. Deep line playmaker, Abora on support, with Silva box-to-box midfielder support. Damari Gray and Pereira are inside forwards on support, with Maddison the attacking midfielder on attack. Vardy's the advanced forward this time on attack. Tactic 3 was a false 9 on support with 33 goals. Let's see how he gets on as the advanced forward this time. Wow, Leicester finished 5th and qualified for the Europa League. 66 points. They were 4 points off the Champions League. Outstanding. Let's have a look at the schedule. So, Premier League wasn't a good start. They drew with Brighton, lost to Man City, drew with Cardiff. They then thumped Doncaster 5-1 EFL Cup second round. They lost to Tottenham and Chelsea. So basically there was 5 games without a win before they thumped Liverpool 4-0. Vardy was sent off after scoring 2. Lost the EFL Cup third round to Chelsea away 3-1. Then there's an unbeaten run coming here. In fact, there's a really impressive run I'm about to go through. Starting from October, they beat Fulham, drew with Huddersfield, beat West Ham and drew with Burnley. Then November, they beat Bournemouth, Wolves and Newcastle. Into December, they lost to Southampton, but then beat Wolves, drew with Everton, beat Brighton, thumped Crystal Palace, beat Man United, drew with Man City in January, drew with Barnsley FA Cup third round but won the replay 5-3, drew with Cardiff, lost to Tottenham, drew with Everton FA Cup fourth round 3-3, and then drew with Chelsea 3-3 in the Premier League. So 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 2 defeats in 21 games with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those being draws. Impressive. Into February, they drew with Liverpool, lost the FA Cup fourth round replay and went out to Everton. Then lost to Fulham, drew with Huddersfield before beating West Ham. So you can see where they dropped points as far as the Champions League race goes. Unbeaten month in March. They beat Burnley, drew with Bournemouth, beat Wolves and Newcastle. They then lost to Arsenal in the Premier League before beating Southampton, drawn with Watford, beating Arsenal 4-2 Premier League. That's quite strange. They played each other literally 20 days apart, home and away. Yeah. Okay, they lost to Everton, finished up the season by beating Man United away and Crystal Palace. So again, just to repeat, Leicester finished in 5th place, qualified for the Europa League, 4 points off the Champions League. As I said, you can see all these draws affected that performance and that finish. Player ratings, let's have a look. So, Maddison 7.21, Vardy 7.15, Evans 7.14 and Maguire 7.09. Goals, Vardy 30 from 41 and 6 assists, with Maddison 11 from 38 and 11. Catenaccio weighed in with 9 from 8 starts, 23 as a sub. Iborra 7 from 40 and 6 assists, and Johnny Evans 6 from 41. So that's tactic number 4. Impressive. So that's it. That's the end of this particular tactical test. You can see the 4 tactics with varying levels of success. What do you think of the video? What do you think of those particular tactics? All the links to the tactics are in the description below. If you like the video, please hit the like button for me. It helps me build this channel. And please subscribe for more videos. There'll be a video of every single Premier League team with the same 4 tactics to see how they do. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the bell for notifications for when these next videos come out. Thank you very much. Show your support, and I'd love to know all your comments. Let me know what you think of the tactics. Let me know what you think if you download them and play them. And just, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.